What are your thoughts these days on the social media aspect of business owners and CEOs like speaking out on social media, taking sides on social issues or political stances and like, okay, here's a big argument going on in the country and we believe green versus blue or whatever.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on CEOs and companies like doing that? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I'm not huge on social media. I don't even have a Twitter. I have a LinkedIn, which I think is very valuable for me, really just
Mhm,
for, connecting with people, professional network, all that. But
mhm,
as someone who's not actively like, involved in all of that, I think it's fine to voice your opinion. But if you're like an established like leader, like if you're like Elon Musk or someone, you shouldn't be saying things that can like move the market or that, because that's illegal, right? Or basically it
yeah,
should be, or things that may benefit you, uh, but hurt a lot of normal people, right? I don't
mm,
think that's fair either. And
mm,
I think a lot of these tech guys who are, all billionaires rich, I don't know if that's who you're targeting, but I think a lot of them say things that will ultimately benefit their, kind of their wallet and their causes, but may
mhm,
not be in the best interest for like, like a normal person who's listening to them and like, aspires to be like
mhm,
them, right? Like,
mhm, mhm.
so I don't know. I think
Okay.
it's always good to take what they say with a grain of salt, right?
Agreed. I think a lot of them do. A lot of them do say things to benefit themselves
Oh
financially. I
yeah.
think there's also a lot. I think there's also a lot of, hey, we're going to do this for the marketing buzz and the marketing effect to get more eyeballs on our brand. When really deep down, they don't give a shit. They're just using
Yeah,
it for a
I can.
marketing ploy.
And I don't get that kind of marketing. That's why, it's all over my head. I'm in B2B, so when I see these other guys do it, I'm like, what are they? I don't get it. Like, just over my
I
head.
I called a friend of mine. He owns a small business. He owns a small service business, and he's on. This is before the election, and he's on social media just blasting one side up and down, left and right. And I call him up. I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" I was like, "Have you not?" I was like, "Have you not noticed that 50% of the country it's 50-50? So you're
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're you're basically alienating, possibly alienating like half the people that might want to hire you. Like, why would you do that?"
It's true. I mean, it's people get very passionate about certain causes, and they tend to
Yeah.
lean and voice out on them. I mean, in my opinion, not diving into politics, I don't think any side is perfect, right? I think
Right.
both
Yeah.
I think both sides have their issues. Yeah, some have their positives, and that are negatives for the other, and vice versa. But I think it's just sad that we've been so divided in this country over like, oh, like you voted for this person and not this person. And it's like I feel like people have just become so polarized that
Yes.
they don't actually discuss the real issues, right? Like, which kind of doesn't matter, like kind of transcends both parties, right? I actually think the two-party system is horrible, and I think we should have more parties, and that would probably fix a
Mhm.
lot of things here. But again, that's a very controversial opinion. So
I like it though. I like it. Last thing I'll say on that topic. Last thing I'll say on that topic before we move to the next question is this: I was in a small town in New Mexico this last week, and my trailer broke down. Or I broke a spring underneath my trailer. I was pulling a
man.
trailer and outside of a small town. Make a long story short, this game warden pulls over, helps me get my trailer back to this town. Super nice guy. Just goes out of his way to help me get it rigged up and take it back. Then I go into this small town. I meet this little mechanic who it's a one horse town. The mechanic would talk to him, spend 4 hours with him while he's fixing my trailer, walk down the street in this little town to eat at the restaurant, meet the owner, and it's just good conversation all the way around. Interesting people, very nice, all helped me get my stuff and get back on the road. What I found fascinating was, and what I was reminded by is that you meet people in person and nobody brings up any of this negative argument, my opinion this, my opinion that on whatever topic. There's none of that. Like I spent the whole day with those people and I couldn't tell you what their politics were, what their social beliefs were. Like none of that was discussed. But you go on social media and
Oh
everybody
yeah.
thinks that they got to just blast that shit out there. you know, and I found that fascinating. I don't know why social media makes people think that that's the gateway to say these things, because it wasn't discussed when I met these folks in person. Okay.
It's a great thing you brought up. There's like all that beauty in actually meeting people in real life, right? I mean, I know with COVID,
Yes.
we all haven't really able to, especially with new people, we haven't been able to connect just in person. But
Yeah.
I think that's led people to go online almost and create these different personas on different channels where it's like you're identified based on like all these taggings almost. It's not like, it's like you're identified based on tags, like your views or
Yeah.
your income or like this or that, instead of like, actually just being a human being with another human being, which is so critical that, we know we've just been missing out on since COVID.
Totally agree. If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone you know, please share this with them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviewing. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get information and pricing on the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.